Chih!
Our bond is strong.
Keep up. Hup. Heck.
The wind knows me. Clouds high. The birds call.
Can't see. I hear everything! Enshroud!
Dissipate. Our bond is strong.
New hunt!
One with nature.
Can't see. Let's nip that in the bud.
Into the wind. As one with wind and cloud.
Futile. One with the forest.
Now we'll meet again.
The value of knowledge cannot simply be quantified in monetary terms.
Follow the wind. Time to go. Time to go. Follow the wind. Time to go.
Tainari once told me not to tell jokes at the dinner table, insisting that my jokes weren't funny at all. I did not share his opinion, so I told 3 of my best jokes in a row and explained the premise of each in great detail. By the time I was done talking, my food was cold. I once helped Kale seal away the god's remains in her body, but the process was an unthinkably painful one. To many, enduring that kind of pain would be a prospect more terrifying than death. So, it was very admirable that she was able to persevere through it all. Of course I know about Lisa. We once both studied under the same sage. As General Mahamatra, I've seen many tragedies befall those seeking knowledge too assiduously. So it's easy for me to understand her decision. This is for me? Are you sure? I vow to uphold the rules and punish evil.
I've barely kept in touch with anyone from the academia since leaving Sumeru, except for the occasional letters to my teachers out of basic courtesy. Fortunately, not every promising student turned out as lazy as I am. I heard that one of my juniors, Sino, now leads quite the action-packed life. Oh, dear little Kale. Every time she writes to me, she tries out new words and expressions she's learned recently. No wonder she's improving so quickly. That wonderful and warm-hearted master of hers must have helped a lot, too.
I'll admit the taste surprises me a little. Okay, I'll try one more bite. Your cooking skills seem to have improved quite a lot. Does that mean you're getting stronger all the time, too? Eating delicious food really has a way of taking all your cares away. Food is like weapon.
You want to see Sino? Well, firstly, a word of caution. If he ever comes chasing you down for work-related reasons, prepare for the nightmare of a lifetime. Other than that, General Mahamatra is a high-ranking position, so it usually isn't easy to find him. But he does occasionally go to Gandharvaville to see Kale.
To you, CC?
Luck can swing the results of a single game, but it's bound to run out sooner or later.
If you require any assistance, please let me know.
This makes sense to you, CC?
Add Ash. Thank you for Add Ash.
Who says there aren't benefits to a life of wandering?
Time to go.
You mean the village keepers? When I was eating dinner the other day, I saw one of them by the side of the road, muttering a...
Okay.
Anything else?
The scholars that have gone missing. Have you seen them? Don't change the subject.
Right. You were asking about the mad scholars. I think it's been a few days since I last saw them. But honestly, I feel quite sympathetic towards them. Even though they...
Do you also think Grandpa and the others are good people?
Grandpa? Oh, hello there. It's little Isak. You mean that nice man who looks like your grandpa's long-lost twin, right? He was actually the one who protected my house. I saw it with my own eyes. It still feels pretty surreal now that I think back on it. Did someone... Well, whatever the case, I'll always be thankful to him and whoever taught him to look out for others. I'm pretty sure that if I ever went mad...
Gotcha! Thank you! Sir, have you seen my grandpa?
Oh, well, if it isn't Isak. The last time I saw him, he was spacing out by the road as usual. I went and asked him if he'd like any of the food. And speaking of my wife, she's still always complaining about how I don't make enough mora.
Oh, thank you.
It was nothing. Hey, you're looking...
Yeah.
That's no good. Well, once you found him, I've known you since you were very young. So as far as I'm concerned, you're family.
Wow, what a nice guy! Okay, thank you, sir.
Huh? Don't say anything for now. Isak, let's head over there. Listen, see if you can make out what they're saying.
Have you heard? The mighty Scarlet King, the sovereign of our faith, will soon return to this world.
Yes, of course I have. The Scarlet King is the one and only true ruler of this land. I've never believed in any other gods. Still, you say he's coming back, but it sure doesn't feel like life's about to change around here.
Haven't you noticed? The village has been getting more deranged scholars than ever. Delavar was saying that many people also went insane just before the fall of the Scarlet King's civilization in ancient times. We don't quite know. Isn't it a sign of the Scarlet King's power that all the mad scholars have disappeared? If you ask me, they must have been chosen as the
Huh. Now that you say it, that does make some sense. Does this mean our lives are fine?
Exactly. Those city folks will get what's coming to them.
Now, repeat everything you've just said from the very beginning.
Huh?
Who are you? Where did you come from?
My patience is running thin. You heard what I asked.
Yeah, bro, this guy's something else. Just look at his...
Let's not get on his bad side, okay?
Oh, okay, good sir. What is it you would like to know?
Tell me about the Scarlet King's resurrection.
Well, I only know a few things from hearsay. I went for a drink the other day and heard others talking about a rumor that the madmen will disappear, and that the Scarlet King will return to this...
Hey, go on.
It's true. It's all true, sir. We desert folk have had more than enough of those people at the academia. They keep sending us all their mad scholars and won't let us have a good life. Would you want to live like this if you were in our place? The radicals were even more thrilled than me when they heard the news. We're all prey. Delavar also said that once the Scarlet King returns to our side, it's only a matter of time before we conquer the land on the other side of the wall. They're all willing to serve under the Scarlet King and fight for a share of the glory.
Is that so?
Seems like he still wants to...
Got it! At first, I told myself it was just the drink talking, but then all the mad scholars vanished without a trace, just as the rumors said. Please don't beat me up just for mentioning these rumors. If I'm guilty, then everyone else...
The people here really like the Scarlet King, but dislike the Dendro Archon.
Where is this radical...
I haven't run into him over the past few days, so he probably hasn't been around the village.
No, not at all.
Sounds like you're not too close with the radicals.
No, of course not. All we know are their names.
I have many ways to stop you from talking. And many others to stop you from sending... So you'd best just stay home and hope I don't hear of you. Don't do anything until I've gotten to the bottom of this. Try something foolish, and even Candace won't be able to protect you.
Yes, got it. We'll do...
That scared Paimon half to death. Sino is pretty terrible. He didn't try to reassure us at all. It's like he's used to hearing that. Oh, Paimon bets lots of people have told him that.
I heard that.
Sorry.
It's part of being a Matra. The rumor we heard just now seems like a strong lead. But we need to check a few more places. Very well.
Isak!
I'm here.
Where's your grandpa's house?
Well, I can take you there.
There's still a long road ahead.
Grandpa? Oh, he likes to be alone. Sometimes he stares at the sky in a daze, and other times he just pokes at the ground with his fingers. Every now and then, he yells out at the top of his lungs, so a lot of people are really scared of him. But he's a good person, really. I know he is. I swear, he's just like my real grandpa. This is where Grandpa usually...
There sure isn't much here.
No.
Incense? Please don't... But are you okay?
There's a scent that you can sense, but I can't.
A certain traveler here once passed out from that smell. Thankfully, Tainari saved the day. And then...
So, you know Tainari?
Huh? You know him too?
Yes. Now that I concentrate, I can also make out the scent of incense.
Wait, surely Tainari...
No need. Did you first encounter this scent at Tainari's house? In the forest. From a scholar.
What are you looking for?
Here it is. Take a look right here. Although the traces have been completely buried in the sand, there are footprints here from the size and shape. They belong to an adult male. The scent is quite faint, but still
But who would come looking for Grandpa?
We'd have to ask whoever lured him away with the incense.
Huh? So you can lure someone away with just a scent? Hey! What's wrong with liking good food?
Exactly. Most scholars are fond of incense. Even deep within the clutches of madness, they still yearn for their knowledge-seeking days, and will follow the scent when it...
No.
So, someone's taking advantage of their weakness? Are the rumors really true? Could the disappearance of all the mad...
It's highly likely.
Please, you have to save my Grandpa. Grandpa...
Sounds like we'd better help get him back.
Let's head to Aru Village and inform Candace and the others about what we learned here.
Right. The darker fabric definitely looks a lot better.
We're back, Candace! We've got a lot to tell you.
Ah, welcome back.
Sounds like everyone's friends already.
Oh, Dia's here too!
You bet. So, everything goes smoothly?
Reasonably.
Alhaitham didn't go with you?
We haven't seen him at all.
Huh. I saw him around the village entrance earlier and figured he would...
Did you find out anything useful? I see. So someone you...
The resurrection of the Scarlet King? First I've heard of it. Far as I know, the kind of incense you just mentioned is only popular beyond the wall. Scholars are fond of it, but as you can see, there aren't many scholars still studying around these parts. Not to mention making incense is a labor-intensive process. You won't see anybody in the desert with the patience to make or sell something that requires that kind of effort. It seems someone from beyond the wall must have been supporting this.
Makes sense.
So what should we do then? Do we go back to the
If it was any other day, that would be your next logical step. But today, you've got me on your team, so you get an extra tip. Didn't you say that the villager got his news from the tavern? Well, I also like to drink at the tavern, so I know a thing or two about these radicals he mentioned.
If Paimon remembers correctly, the leader of the radicals is some guy called Delavar.
Ah, yeah. Delavar, the scar-riddled bandit, Engur, the wide-eyed butcher, and Jabari, the duck-tailed bearded crook. These guys have one thing in common, and that's being broke. The rougher life gets, the more they want to believe in the Scarlet King. Way they see it, the Scarlet King's resurrection is their only chance at overthrowing the... Throwing all of Sumeru into chaos is the only way to change the way of life here in...
Tia! You're amazing! You really know this place...
No merc can afford to slack off on gathering intelligence. Every more I've...
Let's head out.
Now hold on,
Why?
Aru Village is not a big place. Outsiders stand out here like a sore thumb. I'd bet word about you has already gotten out. The desert is unforgiving, so the way of life here is also a lot tougher than on the outside of the wall. You survive on... Compared to you, mercs like me are just third-rate amateurs. I've got no actual fighting skills to speak of. But that also makes it a whole lot easier for me to gain the locals' trust. I need to go around and ask some questions, but it'll be difficult.
Fine.
Good, then we've got a plan. The Traveler and Paimon will go to Caravan Rebot with me, and we'll try our best to figure out where the mad scholars have been taken.
All right, sounds like a plan.
brings a smile to my face.
Surrender!
Propagate! Scatter! Enshroud! I'll bury you! I hear everything!
The wind knows me.
Can't see?
Sounds like you're starting to get familiar with the area.
Paimon's amazed every time we see the wall of Samiel. How can a wall this tall even—
I know what you mean. I had the same question every time I walked this way when I was a kid. Also, why is this high wall here? And can a wall really block sandstorms? It was only after I grew up that I realized the wall of Samiel isn't just there to keep out the sandstorms. It serves a more important purpose. Keeping out people like us. Sumeru is run by wise and mighty sages. To them, us desert dwellers are nothing but tools that can be used. We're cheap labor, like livestock, but easier to control. Nothing. Even if a child from the desert got the chance to obtain an Akasha terminal, almost all their requests for knowledge would be denied. The academia believes we're underserving. Geniuses like Sataria are 1 in a million. The other children never get a single chance to try and rewrite their fate. Even though the academia knows very well that we're humans, just as they are.
That's terrible.
I would tear down this wall with my own hands if I could.
Hey, Dia.
No, not at all. This place just... Besides, we're here to procure information, aren't we?
Yep, we gotta catch those—
Shh! Caravan Rebot is crawling with people, so be careful what you say. Our mission started the moment we arrived here. Let's go check out the tavern. Maybe we'll find...
Time to go.
Just our luck. None of them are here today.
You mean, you don't—
Dia, is that you? What a coincidence. You're here for a drink too?
Zaki. Finally, a friendly face.
Oh, and who do you have with you here? Guests from another land? Hello, hello. I'm Zaki.
We've had drinks together a few times. You could say we go back a ways. Anyway, as far as my friends here, they aren't too shabby, are they? You rarely see any Outlanders so friendly and respectful nowadays.
Absolutely. Much better than those people on the other side of the wall. So, Dia, are you looking for someone?
Yeah. Have you seen Engur, Delavar, or Jabari recently?
Of course I have. Matter of fact, we were all here drinking together just a few days ago.
I've got a spice trading deal from another nation. I thought maybe...
Ah, how thoughtful of you. Then I assume you also know...
Hey, keep it down. Let's just say I prefer to keep this deal a secret. Y'all at Caravan Rebot are like family. If there's more to be made, why not do it together? Besides...
Yes, how considerate of you.
What? So he's not at the hotel today?
Are we there yet?
Yep.
This place is practically deserted. What are they doing in a place like this?
Why don't you take a guess? Go on. A wild stab in the dark. You're like lambs to the slaughter.
Oh no! It's an ambush!
What's this all about, Zaki?
Come on, Dia. You really think we didn't hear about what you said back in Aru village? The boys have kept a close eye on you from the moment you set foot there. Not only do I know that you're looking for Delavar, I also know that you—
So, you've been watching us from the very beginning?
Uh-oh. Paimon knew leaving...
And you left the strongest one in the village, didn't you? Who do you think you—
So you and Delavar have been partners—
Dia, I guess it's only natural for a traveling mercenary like you to be out of the loop. Those of us who hang around the tavern have stronger bonds. But you got one thing right. We're all looking forward to an uprising.
If that's the case, then I'm sure Delavar wouldn't miss a second.
I'll be honest with you. If it weren't for what you said in the village, your little monologue about the Wall of Samiel would have convinced me that you're one of us.
Delavar. And Engar, you're here too, huh?
Long time no see, Miss Mercenary. You should have known the traitors are what us followers of the—
Dia, I thought that you, a fellow desert dweller, would understand that the Scarlet King is greater than the Dendro Arc.
Yeah, gee, what a missed opportunity. Adopting radical views and kidnapping innocent scholars, all because of some baseless—
See? There you have it. Mercenaries are just a bunch of faithless scum with only one thing on their minds. Mora.
You're not wrong. Mercenaries are driven by Mora, and my faith lies with whoever's paying me. As long as there's a profit to be made, and—
Enough talking! Get him!
Just as I expected. Let's teach him a lesson, traveler.
Following orders.
A new punching.
One with nature.
Judgment is upon you. Guilty. You stand condemned. Your penance is due.
Impossible! How could—
So, what do you think about your meticulous network now, Zaki? How did you say it? It's only natural for a traveling mercenary like me to be out of the loop. I'm guessing your informant told you that I'm just an incompetent merc with no real fighting skills, correct? I mean, that is what I said after all. And of course you would believe everything he reported. The only thing you know about me is that I'm a mercenary, but you've never seen me in action. Even though you heard we went to handle monsters together, you believed that Candace was the only one doing all the real That so-called Flame Mane is just a fraud. She admitted it herself. She just uses her connections to gain the trust of— That's what you thought, right?
Ugh. You lied in the village because you figured that we'd have people watching you.
And you were stupid enough to fall for it. I figured as much the first time we drank together. You all thought you were so smart. Pathetic. Okay, that should be all of them.
Whoa! So you've been planning this since we were in—
No task can be done without preparation. I just happened to notice a couple
Oh! instead of catching them right.
Those two who were snooping around were just a couple small fries. If we want to get the real catch, we have to be patient and give it some time.
Oh, you mean the funny name she mentioned back in Uncle Ampu's house? The wide-eyed butcher, Scarp...
That's just a bunch of drunk talk. Edgar and Delavar like to talk themselves up when they're drinking. Edgar, the wide-eyed butcher, and alcohol has a way of making people share what they really think. So Edgar and Delavar are always rambling in the tavern about how this...
What about Zaki?
He's just a numbskull who fell right into our trap. Zaki was probably the best hidden of them all. My initial plan was to find Delavar first, and then try to track him down. That's what you wanted to ask when we were at Uncle Anpu's house, right? Jabari is one of the villagers you talked to. You know, the one who wanted to treat Isak and his grandpa to some food.
Wait, so he's a radical too?
No, he isn't. I just needed to tack on a random villager name to make the eavesdropper think that I was making some wild guesses based on my impression.
Wow, what a genius idea! Well, that's an expert mercenary for ya.
Ah, you're too kind. It was straight from the usual playbook, if I'm honest.
So, that thing you were saying before, is it really true?
About what?
About how mercenaries only care about more.
Does that bother you? What makes you so sure?
Dia, do you dislike the Dendro Archon like the other desert folk?
You two are pretty sharp. No, I don't have anything against the Dendro Archon. I've heard a lot of nice things about the Lesser Lord from Dunyarzad. I can understand. Dunyarzad's just an ordinary person. There's no way a god would be so involved in the lives of everyday people, unless they were true. I've begun to realize that the sages are behind everything that's happened recently. The radicals' blind belief in the Scarlet King, making the Dendro Archon out to be an enemy. It's all the Academia's trickery. But I see through it all. And unlike them, I can never be hostile towards anyone who's never done anything wrong.
Dia.
Anyway, looks like we're done with business here. Traveler... This should be all of them.
All right. I'll be...
Candace, do you need any...
Candace will be okay on her own. I trust her, so you... She's been guarding Aru Village for quite some time now. If any...
While I'm questioning them, why don't you pass...
I'll meet you back here tomorrow morning, Traveler. As for these idiots...
You heard the question. Now answer me. Ugh! You heard the question.
Candace is an expert at dealing with people like this.
A familiar sight.
Nowhere to run! Fallen leaves, adorn my... Spring forth! Futile! Through me, justice is served. Is stand condemned! Your penance is due! Guilty!
The wind knows me. As one with wind and cloud.
One with the forest. Let's nip that in the bud.
You are not welcome, you hunting.
One with nature.
Well played.
Germinate! The wind knows me.
Nowhere to run!
Can't see. Keep up. I hear everything!
Into the wind!
Who says there aren't benefits to a life of wandering?
Time to go. The wind knows me.
Keep up.
Are you going to hold a festival?
Ooh, let me open it.
Time to go.
There's no end to this. Surrender!
One with the forest!
I got jealous. Picked the wrong test subject.
Keep up.
another! Nowhere to run!
Wind Strider!
Let's nip that in the bud.
Futile! Judgment is upon us. You stand condemned! Your penance is due! You stand condemned! Your penance is due!
Don't tell me they did it again.
Hey, Dia!
Right on time. We'll know any moment.
Paimon's been wondering. You seem to know Can't.
We've known each other for some time now. She's a pretty interesting person. Even though she's an extremely strong warrior, she never misuses her powers against...
Oh, Paimon knows what you mean. Like a lot of martial artists say, never take the fight up.
Yep, I guess you can put it that way. It takes strong convictions to be as dedicated as she is, and shoulder that kind of response. Us mercs, on the other hand, we pretty much live from one day to the next.
Well, Paimon thinks you're great.
Really? Thanks for that.
Oh, Sino's here, and he's pretty early.
Yes. I was here yesterday to help out a little.
To help out? By doing what?
Sharing some interrogation techniques.
Oh, you mean you taught kids?
Right.
Come on in, everyone.
Come on, let's go inside.
Candace, where? Whoa, you look furious.
Do I?
Oh, there's no mask that can hide true blood. Cover up your eyes, and it'll still show itself at the corners of your...
Perhaps I need to work on my composure. Still, it's perfectly understandable why I'm angry.
Yes. Please, don't beat us anymore. We're gonna die.
Well, looks like Sino taught her well.
You fear death yourselves, yet you do not hesitate to place the lives of others at risk. The absurdity is mind-boggling. The ones you call mad scholars are known to us as the Village Keepers. They are vital members of our community, and some even count them as family. You come here, to my village, and you treat my people as nothing more than stepping stones towards your goal. Tell me, what would you do to you in my position?
Mercy!
You've made your bed. We may both be desert dwellers, but there is one thing that I understand better than you. The resurrection of the Scarlet King will only result in war. And war serves no one. The people of Aru Village care little about which god is in power. Life may be tough and tiring, but we wish to preserve our way of life. A war would only cause us to lose all that we have.
We understand. I'll tell you everything I know.
I'm listening.
You might not believe this, but it wasn't us who came up with this idea. Someone was spreading rumors in the tavern. That's how we ended up hearing about the Scarlet King's resurrection. Some mystery man told us that mad scholars will make the perfect sacrifice to usher in the Scarlet King's resurrection. They give their lives, and we can get...
They're called Village Keepers. Slip up again, and you'll regret it.
Yes, sorry. It was all that mystery man's doing. He told us to spread word about the Scarlet King's resurrection and talk to us into helping him. I'm not sure.
That's one.
Huh? One what?
Strike. You get a total of 3. Then, you die by my hand.
Wait, I'm telling the truth. We don't know anything. It was all him.
2.
He got us to lure them out of their houses in the night with some kind of incense. We take them to a junction outside the village. Then the mystery... You gotta believe me, please. I'm telling the truth, I swear. Just ask them if you don't believe me.
That was indeed the truth. Traveler, go on.
You have to believe me. If I knew that, I would have told you his name right away. I'm not risking another beating to keep his secrets. No way. That guy, he wears a cloak, and he's always careful to cover his face. He calls himself the...
I believe I may know what's going on.
Uncle Anpu? What do you...
Smooth.
Okay, speak.
If my suspicions are correct, this mystery man they speak of... Some time ago, people from the Academia It strikes me now that this secretive...
Which means it's highly likely that the Academia was purposely spreading a false rumor to trick the radicals into delivering the Village Keepers right into their hand. They were the ones who brought them here to begin with. Now they're trying to take them back?
Not the Academia again.
Just as I thought. But what could they want with the village?
People are nothing but tools in the eyes of the Academia. A change in their plans likely means they found another way to exploit this. Regardless.
You're right.
Aesop, time to go. Let's leave.
Yes. Pack up and get...
You got it. Candace, I'll let you deal with the radicals. Leave everything outside.
All right.
Let's meet back here once everyone's ready.
You look worried.
Yes. I'd look for them myself if I could.
You have a strong...
Dia, don't say that.
Thanks. I'll let you...
What scheme is the Academia...
him?
Well, as you can see, I am merely sitting here and reviewing what we have deduced thus far.
You were gone for ages, and now you're suddenly sitting here musing to yourself? Hey, what's with the silence?
You never think things through before asking questions. I'm giving you some time to make up for that.
Paimon's so mad! Paimon's gonna give you an ugly nickname! Never mind. Paimon's got nothing. There's just nothing super obvious to pick with this guy. It makes it so hard.
Well, you've heard nothing to suggest I left this whole time. So clearly, I stayed in the village to investigate. Anyway, you plan to leave Aru Village and keep searching for the truth of this matter, yes?
Yep. We're not gonna find out anything more by staying here, so we thought that we might as well take the search elsewhere. Enough with the silent treatment!
No. I'm just surprised that you decided to team up with him.
Alhaitham, you haven't helped us out at all ever since we arrived at Aru Village. Bold of you to question our choices.
Yeah, you're all talk.
While you were investigating, I had my own work to do.
Really?
To be honest, we aren't really a team, so I have no obligation to inform you of my whereabouts. Not to mention that going separate ways allowed me to find some important information that you all had missed.
Huh? Right here in the village?
Correct.
What did you learn?
I'm going to take you to someone. But before that, you need to understand where she's coming from.
What does that mean?
How do you think the residents of Aru Village feel about what we're doing? In other words, do you truly believe every single word the villagers tell us?
You mean, some of them...
Hiding the truth does not necessarily equate to lying. Again, these people have their reasons. Remember what Gandis said? Most people in Aru Village don't necessarily care which deity is in charge of Sumeru. That's because whether the Scarlet King or the Dendro Archon has power is of little significance. By contrast, the perils of their daily lives are ever-present concerns. They won't simply share everything they know with you without good reason. That's why you believed there was no further information to be found in this village. Glad you're following along. Among those you have talked to, there's someone who was consciously keeping you out of the loop. In fact, she's been observing your every move since you were... The reason being, to someone who only wants to live their life in peace, any external factors introduce
Those eyes.
Don't change the subject.
It's quite obvious that she's intimidated by Sino's authority and strength.
Right. You were asking...
She corrected herself mid-sentence because she's aware that there are Scarlet King fanatics in the village. If she sounds too friendly towards the village keepers, she could easily make...
I think it's been a few days since I last saw...
Remember? She made a point of denying her involvement in anything that occurs at night.
But honestly, I feel quite sympathetic toward...
After speaking to the village chief, it became clear that the village keepers had protected Aru Village at night. In other words, the young miss was very much a... By getting involved with an outsider, she risks drawing unwanted attention to herself. As for why she might be so wary about all this, maybe you should ask her.
I'll pass on this one. You said that she is afraid of me. If so, it's best if I stay out of this.
We're on it!
Miss Shawnee, as we discussed earlier...
Mr. Alhaitham, I'm aware of...
Huh? What do you mean?
Go ahead and talk to her. Go on. Earn her trust.
Is it really that simple?
May I call you Traveler? Hi, Traveler. I want to ask you something. Do you think the resurrection of the Scarlet King can truly change Sumeru for the better? Why's that? That's very similar to what Miss Candace says. I know you two are friends. Before, I wouldn't even have the courage to ask something like, Traveler, do you believe our lives will get...
Yeah! We came here from another nation, so it isn't wrong of you to be weary. But even so, we've met lots of people from different... We have friends in Sumeru, and we want to help them!
I want to trust you. My apologies for posing my questions like that. To be honest, I didn't expect you to come back for more information.
Oh, Hatham told us you have your reasons.
The fact is that only one side of my family is desert folk. I don't really fit in. Some believe in the Dendro Archon, while others believe in the Scarlet King. I don't belong to...
Speaking of which, the Radicals mentioned that they despise traitors. Do they just think that anyone who's different from them is a traitor?
Yeah. Some people can be so narrow-minded when it comes to bloodline and beliefs. It makes no difference what I say or how I behave. Oh, slowly, I just stopped talking to people. I pretended not to hear or see any, and then it happened. The village keepers who had helped me disappeared with no explanation, and I didn't dare breathe a word about it to anyone. Until now.
You can tell them. I'm sure he'll keep your secret.
All right. I actually have a sharper sense of hearing than most. Sometimes, I hear strange crying sounds in the night.
There are ghosts?
Perhaps. I'm not sure. It's faint, but it's definitely the sound of crying. It used to be louder and more frequent. But ever since you arrived in the village, it doesn't seem to happen as often. And when it does, it's much quieter.
I confirmed this with the guards on night duty. They also have someone with a good ear, and he's heard but because we're in the middle of a desert, he would rather believe that they are the cries of beasts than ghosts.
There's really nothing around these parts, except for an old...
I think they used to use it for treating Elazar, but it's been abandoned for years.
Yeah, let's...
A familiar sight.
Stand with me!
One with nature.
I think we can forgo the lost and found report.
Empty and forgotten. An ideal place to hide people.
Monsters! Watch out!
Our bond is strong!
Clouds high.
Birds, through me, justice is served. Guilty. Your penance is due. Guilty.
One with the forest. I hear everything.
I'll settle this.
As one with wind and cloud, judgment is upon you.
Your penance is due.
They were easier to deal with than Paimon had expected. Super strong bandits? Or monsters taller than Bill? He looks super serious. We gotta stay on our A game too.
This is the one. Let's go in and take... Patience. Shawnee says she only hears the crying at night. We have time to burn. Until then, I'm taking a break.
And just like that, he sits down. Wait, he even brought a book to read? What are you reading? Let Paimon...
Okay, sure.
The natural position, which is the positional propensity of an entity in natural motion in contrast with an object in forced motion? Huh? When free from external influences, every entity displays the tendency to follow its natural trajectory?
So, you got that?
Oh, Paimon gives up. You keep reading your book. See ya! How is he so relaxed? Look at him, reading an impossible book in a creepy place like this. Hey! Paimon's your Tibet travel guide. Paimon knows plenty of useful stuff already. And anyway, is that Paimon's fault that the books people read in Sumeru are so complicated? Paimon's getting so sleepy. Huh? What was that sound?
There it is. It's coming from that direction.
Is the sound coming from here? Huh. Paimon's not seeing anything.
It's from below.
But there's...
Something is off about the interior here. As I thought. There's a hidden structure.
Wow. It's like they tucked another hospital into the... Oh, it looks like there are other mechanisms.
Into the wind!
And shroud!
With nature.
Let's nip that in the bud.
fallen leaves, adorn my night!
The wind knows me.
Nowhere to run!
Can't see?
Look! There's someone over there! Good idea. Let's approach.
Wait. You're...
He can't speak, and his eyes are unfocused. Also, why is he the only one?
Didn't expect to see him here.
You know him?
He's Razak, a senior of mine at the Academia.
He's a scholar too? Is he the kind that holds up in a forest and
No. And that's the problem. Razak was never involved in any of those things. He never trained in the forest, let alone reach Satyavada life. Leaving that question aside for the moment, looks like they've already taken everyone away. For whatever reason, they left Razak here. There are drag marks on the ground. They're clearer by the doorway. Someone was forcefully drawing a cart that...
Loaded?
That is one possibility. It looks like they were in a hurry. The symptoms are identical. Looks like...
Huh?
Allow me to jog your memory. Recall your time at Port Ormo. Don't you think his symptoms look familiar?
Oh!
Correct. The Academia is behind. It isn't difficult to deduce their rationale. First, the Academia spread a false rumor of the Scarlet King's resurrection, emphasizing the role of the village keepers, the mad scholars who were exiled. These rumors were all the persuasion that the radicals needed, and those based in Aru village leapt into action. Unbeknownst to them, of course, through rounding up the scholars, they were actually helping the Academia. As well as being able to exploit the radicals for their own ends, this scheme has one further advantage to the Academia. All the risks and responsibilities are offloaded onto the Scarlet King's followers. Life for the desert dwellers has been brutal ever since the Scarlet King's death all those years ago. Beneath the surface, feelings of desperation are widespread. Many would give everything they have for the prospect of something better. Anyone looking to exploit that for their own ends simply needs to make a few empty promises. Even if complications arise, people will see that those involved are all followers of the Scarlet King, and look for no further explanation than differences of belief. A deep-seated mistrust of the desert and everyone in it by the rest of Sumeru will make sure of that. The notion of an academia plot wouldn't even cross their minds. It may seem like a simple strategy,
makes a lot of sense, but there's still one very important question. Wasn't it the...
Throughout this process, one thing has changed. The scholar's identity. First, they were scholars. Then, they became lunatics. After that, they were exiles. And finally, an exile is still patently a living, breathing human being. But when someone becomes a missing person, if you can't find someone, you have no way of knowing what exactly happened to them. That makes missing people.
Resource?
One possibility is that the information in their brains could be extracted into knowledge capsules.
Extracted? You mean canned knowledge comes from people's brains?
With the technology of the Sumeru Academia, it's perhaps the process caused them great suffering, which is why they cry out in the dead of night.
So, the human brain... Nope, nah, Paimon doesn't want to...
I'm the Academia scribe, after all. I'm familiar with their project. Anyway, judging by Razak's state, the contents of a divine knowledge capsule were extracted from his mind. But something went wrong in the process. Or perhaps his curiosity got the better of him, and he used such a capsule for himself.
Paimon's a little confused. Can they just use anyone's brain?
The look on your face tells me you've realized the answer. That's right. To some scholars, gaining knowledge about the gods is their entire life's pursuit. Extracting canned knowledge is just one of the extreme measures they turn to. However, I can't help but wonder, what do they seek to gain from divine knowledge? The Academia is going out of their way to look for forbidden knowledge. But what is their ultimate? I've spent quite some time trying to analyze the contents of the divine knowledge capsule, but to no avail. It seems like my way of thinking is...
You mean you're not even slightly interested in getting your hands on this forbidden stuff?
All scholars seek to expand the horizons of knowledge, but I'm not particularly interested in gods, so I don't share their degree of zealotry. Extracting information from people as if they were lifeless objects? If this is the direction of academic progress, then the Academia may as well shut its doors.
Sounds like you're really against all this.
Of course. The Academia's actions run contrary to their... Whether it be academics or knowledge, everything has its boundaries. If those lines are crossed, this matter needs to be corrected. Just like fixing a typo in a book.
Wait! Didn't you step in to help because you felt sympathy?
Not to be callous, but no. My criteria are a little more restrictive than that. There is no shortage of suffering in Sumeru, and the same can be said for the rest of Teyvat as well.
Probably not.
You can say that. Simply put, I don't blindly place my faith into strength or heroism. I do what I want. The divine knowledge capsule is something I want to investigate in full. That doesn't mean I'm willing to take action for the sake of a few strangers.
Paimon's been wanting to say this for a while. There are a lot of bad guys in the Academia, but you're not one of them. You're their weirdo.
You're probably right. Though I must say, I quite enjoy this feeling of being the odd one out. Uniqueness is also an asset, is it not?
Wow, that's a great way to think about it. Paimon's really impressed. If only Miss Shani had a similar mindset, her life would definitely be a lot easier.
I'm just a more likable person than her in general. There's nothing more to it than that. He won't last long if we leave him here. Let's take him with us. We'll work out our next step after we return to Aru Village.
You must be tired. You should rest and take some water.
What's the situation?
Who's this?
Unfortunately, somebody who's too young to take on the role of Isak's grandfather. Nevertheless, he's one of the people we're trying to find.
So, at one point in time, the abandoned Elazar Hospital served as the Academia's site for extracting divine cant knowledge.
Yep, pretty much.
Their plan must have been implemented at some point before we arrived at Aru Village, since divine cant knowledge has been in circulation for a while now. Yet, they fled once we were headed to the village, almost as if they knew we were on their trail. Why is that?
Yeah, why is that?
We may have a mole in our midst. One of us could be secretly revealing our whereabouts to the Academia.
Huh? Are our friendships that shallow?
Looks like none of you have realized wherein lies the issue. Sino, you're the reason why they can predict our movements.
Wait, what's that supposed to mean?
Choose your next words very carefully.
It is simply a logical inference. I have my reasons.
So what you're saying is, Sino's the mole. Interesting. And here I thought you were the most suspicious one, Alhaitham, since you were always acting alone.
I know. You have a point, but I realized something as we were returning from the hospital. Sino isn't like any of us.
What are you trying to say?
Do you still remember who you are, General Mahamatra? As a Matra, you are no doubt privy to certain kinds of information. Before you can take action against someone, you are required to have all the facts available, including the less than savory details. Simply put, the Academia has traditionally allowed you access to a wealth of sensitive information. Knowing their modus operandi, wouldn't you expect them to take precautions against you? If you want to raise a vicious wolf, you need to make sure that you can avoid its bite.
The Academia is monitoring me?
It's not that simple. The Academia has eyes all over Sumeru, but they have a special protocol for dealing with you. Every so often comes a Nyagarbaha Day. On this day, the Academia enters new information into the Akasha through knowledge capsules. I remember seeing a thick notebook next to the control panel once. Its contents were all about the General Mahamatra, his activities throughout the day, preferred methods of enacting judgment, everything.
You're saying that the Academia entered my information into the Akasha too? But what's the point in doing that? My actions aren't important enough to be added into the Akasha.
The Akasha is capable of computation. The Akasha's algorithms are entirely capable of predicting your movements using the data entered. When you would depart, the route you would follow, your destination. It knew all of this.
It predicted my every move.
The Academia has been watching you longer than you think.
So that's how it is. Sino adheres to his principles so strongly that he's actually a thorn in their side. Tenacity of will and steadfast faith are worthless to the Academia. They need scholars who are easily pliable and mindlessly go after anything they can profit from. Sino, don't take it to heart. This just proves how much of a trustworthy ally you are.
They escaped because of me.
Don't blame yourself. It's not like any of us would have known.
I have an idea. If they predicted my movements, then I might be able to guess where they went.
Whoa, you bounced back fast.
There is always an opportunity for safety after danger passes.
Oh, so that's how it is! Paimon gets it now! If the Academia is trying to avoid Cyno, then the safest place would be... Yep, that's right!
They'll want to proceed in the direction opposite of where I'm going. I must go.
There's also something I want to investigate.
Let's go, guys! After him!
Please, wait! I want to go too!
You want to go too? If so, you have to promise you'll stay safe.
I want to find Grandpa. I promise I'll be careful and not cause any trouble.
Everyone, I leave him in your hands.
Yay! Let's go! Remember to pack some food with you! Paimon feels like we're missing someone, though.
Good deeds and bad. In the end, all will be placed upon the scales. Luck can swing the results of a single game, but it's bound to run out sooner or later. Good deeds. Luck can swing the results of a single game, but it's bound to run out sooner or later. Good deeds and bad. In the end, all will be placed upon the scales. Tainari once told me not to tell jokes at the dinner table, insisting that my jokes weren't funny at all. I did not share his opinion, so I told 3 of my best jokes in a row and explained the premise of each in great detail. By the time I was done talking, my food was cold.
Where do we go from here?
Yes. After leaving the village, we should head straight toward the desert.
I know the desert like the back of my hand.
Is that because you play here a lot?
Yep. One time, Grandpa almost got lost in the desert, but I was the one who brought him back.
There's something here. What's this?
It's buried in the sand. Looks like...
And Paimon thought running around everywhere was already enough work. Okay. So, we have to dig it out?
These are likely fragments of an Academia-developed device, something akin to a headset. Looks like there were more than one village keeper. They must have been... Let's split up and search the area. Chances...
Is this what we're searching for?
This is definitely a device used to...
How did it end up buried in the sand? That can't have been part of... They must have been attacked along the way.
Wait, what? Grandpa, I hope you're okay. Don't worry, your grandpa's gonna be fine.
Razak didn't display any signs of starvation or dehydration, which means that they left fairly recently.
We should be able to catch up.
One more thing. Given that the device had been entirely covered by... I believe the attack must have happened prior to the sandstorm.
Let's keep going. They can't have gone far.
Ugh, but running on sand is so tiring.
But you're flying, aren't you, Paimon? Is flying over sand tiring too?
Ugh, of course it is!
Voices, over there. It sounds like an argument.
Whoa, you have really good ears.
Don't get any closer. They'll notice us.
Dia's talking with the Eremites? Very interesting. Let's listen in.
If you had informed me sooner, there'd be plenty of room for us to...
You're one of us. We would never lie.
Scholars. You don't know as much as I do. Need me to...
I knew it. That's our...
Dia? Why would you... Dia!
Hey, what are you doing?
Huh? Didn't you say you'd help me find Grandpa? Why are you on their side?
Well, look...
This complicates things.
You've betrayed Aru village?
So, this is the great General Mahamatra. Dear, you'd be better off as my assistant than hanging around with this motley crew. Seen for yourself. I have the means and methods, and my ideal...
I'm not the type that's easily swayed, Raman. You of all people should know that.
Wait, what's going on, Dia? Whose side are you on here?
Shut it, Paimon.
It doesn't matter. Whichever side you pick, nothing could deter us from the grand mission of resurrecting the Scarlet King.
Face the facts, Raman. It's not gonna happen. You should understand that more than anyone. Have all your years as a merc taught you nothing about placing hopes in a ruler?
I'm a desert dweller and a proud follower of the Scarlet King. Whether I live by the edge of the sword or in peaceful comfort, my soul will always carry this conviction.
It's not too late yet. The village mad scholars aren't gonna bring the Scarlet King back to life.
You don't understand, my dear lady. Pursuing our faith is our purpose in life. Even if the chance of...
Even if it'll expose you to the Academia? Even if they end up disbanding the Eremites? Your Eremites, which you've worked so...
Yes. We've waited a long time for this day to come. With these scholars in our custody, we'll stomp the
Ridiculous. Think about it. The Academia controls the entirety of Sumeru. Your powers are negligible in comparison. If you still don't believe me, then try asking these two men. They're also against the Academia, but neither of them are as arrogant as you are.
They look more like pawns of the Academia to me. But filthy traitors. Your god abandoned all honor and betrayed the Scarlet King. We desert...
It's impossible to communicate with someone so hostile. Perhaps we should.
Do you really believe that by kidnapping the scholars, you'll be able to negotiate with the Academia? These people have no value as bargaining chips, but I could be persuaded to take their place as your next hostage. These scholars were exiled from the academia. I, on the other hand, am their current scribe, and will—
Wait, you can't be serious.
So, you want to trade places with the hostages?
Precisely. Any wise person would gladly accept my offer.
What are you thinking? What if they decide to kill you instead?
Well, that would be bad luck for me. However, I'd get the chance to observe the scholars, perhaps even find out the truth.
Think you can talk me over with that confident look of yours?
I'm not trying to persuade you. I'm using this as a means of joining forces against the academia.
You are the scribe. What do you have against the academia?
Not all desert dwellers believe in the Scarlet King, and the same applies to the academia. Why must all knowledge seekers approve of the academia's way of doing things?
You academia scum. Every last one of you is nothing but a hypocrite, just like everyone else on the other side of that wall.
Not so fast. I'll hate them. Do you stand by everything you just said?
I never make empty promises.
You know you're making a dangerous decision, right?
I do.
Good. Raman, hear me out. These people are my friends. Maybe you can't take the followers of the Dendro Archon at their word.
We've known each other for years. Of course I do.
In that case, I'm willing to vouch for their honesty with my right arm. Come on, Raman, don't be a coward. If you're serious about taking on the academia, you need to steel yourself. You can't be afraid.
An arm from the Flame Mane. But what if you refuse to oblige? What should I do then? No one's a fool here, Dia. We're mercs. And mercs don't tend to live long unless they have their wits about them.
You're not wrong, but this is different. I promised my friends that we'd bring back the village keepers together.
Let's do it right here, then. Give me your right arm as proof of your resolve.
Don't listen to him! He's not even trying to negotiate!
That's fine.
Are you crazy?
We came here to save lives. One arm for that many people is still a pretty good deal, if you ask me. Raman, I'm holding up my end of the deal here.
Sure. Go ahead and cut off her right arm.
No! Dia! What are you gonna do? Think of something!
You don't have to go this far.
That's not for you to decide.
Do it!
Dia! Run!
Stop!
What's wrong? Can't do it?
Flame Mane, you and I are both desert folk. Cutting off your arm is no... You've shown me that you're serious. Go on now, take your friends and leave. Meet me in the desert at noon tomorrow.
Phew. I was really counting on him not going through with it.
Dia! That was crazy! Have you all lost your minds? What if he'd actually cut your arm off?
Then I just have to hold my claymore with my left arm. Okay, I'm sorry. But sometimes when you're out on a limb, you gotta double down to seal the deal, you know?
Don't ever make a promise like that again. I can deal with the likes of them. If it came down to it, you would not lose to them either.
I don't doubt it, Sino. But this is about more than me and them. There's a lot more where they came from. Even if we got rid of one bunch of radicals, there are others out there. Wiping them out would do more harm than good.
As you wish.
I'm sorry, Dia. I should have stayed put and let—
It's okay. I promised you I'd help find your grand—
Whatever it takes? You just might be scholar material.
Huh? Are you serious?
The Eremites once said that I was a lunatic.
Perhaps a little madness is essential to be successful in research.
Why does it feel like he's using his praise for me as an excuse to brag about himself? Okay, let's get moving. We should head back to the village and rest up. Today was just a trial run.
Keep up.
You're all here so early.
Looks like we have everyone here. Isak, are you sure you want to come with us?
I'll watch from a safe distance. Dia.
Okay, let's go then.
Dia, wait.
What's the matter?
I heard that you were quite reckless yesterday. No more of that today, understood? Or I'll be very upset with you.
Fine.
Ah, it's so hot. Even a mist flower would melt in this heat. Now that I think about it, it wouldn't. But you'll get what I mean. Oh. Keep up.
Dissipate.
Into the wind.
One thing after another. I'll uproot you.
Don't be a killjoy!
The birds come! Your sins weigh upon your soul. You stand condemned. Your penance is due.
strong.
The wind knows me. Time to go. Futile!
A well-deserved find.
Huh. They got here before us.
Uh-oh. Is it because Paimon overslept by 5 minutes and held everyone up?
Is everything ready?
Absolutely. Although, you brought fewer people than I imagined.
Bring him over.
Grandpa!
Why is there only one of them?
Raman, I've always thought of you as a man of his word. What's this about?
It's a one-for-one exchange. Sounds fair, don't you think? And let me put it this way. Agreeing to any kind of deal with the Dendro Archon's people is already a huge compromise.
You stay right there!
Flambe! What do you think you're doing?
Grandpa!
Don't you see this blade here?
You coward! Why are your hands shaking?
Wait a second! It's a earthquake!
Grandpa! Paimon's dead.
This day's going just great.
The sand dune collapsed. I saw an energy field. The village keeper protected us. It glowed green with dendro. Just like you said, it may well have been the remains of Lesser Lord Kusanali's power inside the scholar's body. The Dendro Archon. The present one.
Grandpa? Grandpa?
Hey, look around you.
Did there used to be a temple here?
It seems that when the sand dune collapsed, it exposed these underground structures. The symbols on the gate belong to the Scarlet King's civilization. This structure must be ancient. Over time, the sandstorms completely buried it and left it in the state we see now. It could have been an underground palace in the distant past.
Oh, a miracle. Praise the Scarlet King!
What's he doing here?
They must have fallen down here with us. Pretty lucky if Most of them seem in really bad shape. Except for him. He got off lightly.
Mind your head.
No, this isn't the time for conflict. Our exalted lord has shown us the way to his...
He's not actually gonna go in there.
As it happens, I want to take a look inside too.
What are you doing?
Don't you think it's curious? 1 minute, Lesser Lord Kusanali's power protects us from harm, and the next, remnants of the two major deities are vying to showcase their power to us. It would be a shame not to witness them both.
Paimon thought you weren't interested in...
Indeed. In my view, gods are just a higher form of living being, or creature. New discoveries are always worth investigating. Whether they have anything to do with gods is neither here nor there.
Raman, what are you gonna do about your men?
I'll just let them lay here. The Scarlet King will take care of his people.